With that, let me welcome Kayla to walk us through the Comau Mate XT.
Great, thank you, Mike. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining. Thanks, Mike, and all of Cunninger for hosting me for this section. Really excited to give some information on the product. Like Mike said, my name is Kayla Zielinski, and I'm responsible for the exoskeleton product for Comau in North America. And with that, we'll kind of go over a quick agenda. A lot of customers come to me interested in the exoskeleton, and they don't have a great background on who Comau is, so I'll give a brief intro to our company. We'll go over some challenges in the industry, some more technical details on the product, measurable advantages and benefits, and then we'll get to see the exoskeleton in the field and different types of applications, so it should be fun. So here we go. Comau is an automation and robotics company, so really at the core of what we do, we're integrators, and we can really bring ideas to life and offer turnkey solutions for automation. But with that, we are able to have, robotics products, machining, all different types of tools to help, create these solutions. So really we have, process engineering, project management, consultancy. We have a whole line of products, which Mike has, given some materials here that you guys can have access to. That's where the exoskeleton lies in the product category. And then we have the automation department as well. Our headquarters is in Italy. We are based in North America in Michigan, right outside Detroit, where we have an innovation center and one of the largest manufacturing facilities in the world. And we have offices all over the globe. So that's been really beneficial for us and my team of the exoskeleton group, where we can work together and share ideas and understand where the exoskeleton is working well. And we'll be able to touch on that a little bit later when we go over the applications. So if you're not familiar with exoskeletons, I'm going to go over some things that might be of interest and maybe something that your company might be struggling with, and just to understand where its use could be and why. So when we look at work-related musculoskeletal disorders, these are really developed from repetitive tasks and overworking muscles where people are developing injuries. And about a third of the population is living with them right now. So if we dig a little deeper into the numbers here, we could see about 35% are in the upper limb area, and 29% of these injuries are in the low back. And these are mainly due to manual handling processes and awkward postures. So we decided an upper limb exoskeleton could be a good place to start for us. So different costs that you may be incurring, or your company. I think when we think about maybe a rotator cuff surgery, most of us immediately think about the workers' compensation and the insurance costs, which could be, depending on your company's insurance, between $30,000 and $100,000. And that's our first thought. But there's a lot of other, indirect costs and intangible costs that really affect our companies as well, that sometimes we don't take into consideration. And that could be this process is extremely manual. So we have a high turnover rate. This could mean that we need to constantly be recruiting new talent. We need to retrain this talent, all the while probably having productivity loss. It's really important for companies, especially with these types of manual tasks, to create an environment that their employees feel excited to come to work, or at least rejuvenated after going home. So they should be able to, enjoy their personal lives. So, this is happening all over, and automation is really increasing a lot, but not at a fast enough rate where, we still need humans to do these types of tasks. So if we look at different solutions we could take to combat these musculoskeletal disorders, we could start with automation, but sometimes it's not always very scalable. This could be, a lot of a variety of products that you're working with, a very tight space. You might not have the resources to afford it for this type of process. We could do organizational design. So, move your employees around in a rotation. So, 2 hours in one process and 4 hours in the next. It's not always the most efficient or very scalable. Or else we could keep working the way we always have and offer our employees a tool to help them. And that's really the idea of where the exoskeleton comes in. So right now, this technology is really in the infancy. It's exciting to be really in the beginning of this type of technology. I think that it's going to be everywhere in less than a decade. We'll have them for everything. But when we look at adopting an exoskeleton into our workforce, a lot of companies are really mainly interested on an ROI, and that makes sense, of course. But it takes a lot of time to get this kind of data to prove what it's doing. So in 10 years, we'll have a 10-year study with data to prove this. But for now, I think it goes without saying that, with less muscular effort, your employees will be at less risk of developing a musculoskeletal disorder. So the MATE XT, we'll get in a little deeper here. If you guys had the chance to try out the first version of MATE, which we released in 2019, and we worked with Cuttinger, and I believe they've had the pleasure of doing some demos with their customers. We took a lot of feedback from operators and testing purposes of what went well, what our customers might like to see in an upgraded version. That's where we came to the MATE XT. So you'll see this type of marketing. Where does it work? Where you do. So a big focus on this product is to be used in harsher environments. So just a little background on how this product came to be. We are, as you guys can see, we're a robotics company. We offer a line of robotics and AGVs and cobots, things like that. So we have a lot of engineers on our side, but we really don't have that expertise in the body and the kinematics. So with that, we had some partners who work together and develop, research and prototype this product until we had something that we really could bring to market and stand behind. So we've partnered with a company, Osure, that's does prosthetics. And Uvo is a group of PhDs in Italy. They're working on biorobotics. So, they do a lot of the testing and the development of the product. And then, we're manufacturing the product and bringing it to the market. Our newest partner is Ferrino, which we're really excited about because, they are an outdoor equipment manufacturer. So they make, backpacks and things like that. And they've really helped us to create a nice, sleek, breathable garment on the new MATE XT. And it's been super wonderful. We're excited to see where it goes. So just some details on the exoskeleton in general. So the MATE is a passive upper limb exoskeleton, which if you're not aware, there are passive and active exoskeletons, and the passive means that there's no power or motors involved. And that makes this product a very low maintenance product, so it's very easy to implement into your facility. Active exoskeletons will require batteries or power, which sometimes brings into a lot other, health and safety things to consider. So this is an upper limb unit. As we said, there were, a lot of affected areas in the upper limbs and low back. So we figured this could be a good place to start for in order to combat these musculoskeletal disorders. So 3 main technical points would be the garment interface. This means that any parts of the unit that touch the body will be covered by this garment. And that's really for a comfort aspect. We want it to be comfortable, breathable. The mechanical shoulder chain just really facilitates the use of, moving along with the body on slides. And then the torque generator box, as you guys can see on the side of the arm, this box holds the springs and cams that give the lift assistance to the operator. Now there's 7 different levels of assistance, and I'll get into how that works right here. So upper limb, meaning we're going to help with the upper body. So mostly protecting of the shoulders. So I think the easiest way to explain this, if you haven't tried one before, it's much easier to put it on and understand that how it works and how it feels. But if you can imagine maybe putting your arms out in front of you or to the side and maybe holding some kind of a tool or a product, your shoulders is where you'll feel most of the tension because they're really carrying that load of your arm and whatever you may be holding. And so when you're wearing the mate with the assistance that it gives under your arm, it kind of feels like it does some of the work for you. And because of that, what it's really doing is transferring that load partially from your shoulders to your core. So with this, you're actually using less muscle in the shoulder chain to do these repetitive tasks. So you'll be, less fatigued over time. Another thing to look at in terms of how this particular exoskeleton works is this low back support. So if you can see this, the photo from the side view, we've really designed the product to be as compact as possible, but it offers a low back support in where it gives us a posture trainer. There's the skeleton that goes up the back of the spine. So this really keeps you standing up straight with your chest open. You can breathe easy and not have to work at having that proper posture. Another added bonus with this is that because you're standing with your spine in alignment, any kind of movements you may do with regards to bending or twisting, you'll be moving in a much more ergonomic fashion where you kind of have to use your legs to bend and you have to pick up your feet to turn, and you're not going to be able to do these movements that could be more harmful to your body in a quick twist of your back or leaning backwards or punching your shoulders forward. So with that, it's very helpful. So like I said, this is a newer product, an upgraded product, and we really surveyed hundreds of operators and all kinds of different applications and wanted to see what they would want to see in a newer version. So we have this unit is much more breathable. As I said before, we have our new partner for the garment. It is a lighter unit, so this unit weighs 3 kilograms, which is about 6.5 pounds. It's extremely easy to don and doff, which is always an important feature because we really don't want to be taking a lot of time donning and doffing when we have to get out on the floor and get to work. It's a much slimmer unit, so it's takes up a little bit less space. The first unit was even still pretty slim, but we work really well with getting into small areas. And then we gained another level of assistance. So there are eight levels total. It's really up to personal preference what level you choose, because everyone's bodies are different and it really depends upon the task. So you're able to adjust that while the unit is on and go with that. So also, I think one really important feature is that the active boxes are IP54 certified. So we have resistance to this harsh environment of dust, dirt, water, and heat and things like that. So we really can give our customers the confidence in using it outside or in a dirty environment. So we can talk about some advantages and benefits of, implementing exoskeleton into your workforce. I think it's important to look at things from the operator's perspective as well as the company as a whole. So, what we're really doing for the operators and the workers, this 30% reduction in muscle activity is going to be a really huge benefit in terms of, less fatigue. You could, maybe your facility sees a decrease in productivity throughout the day. So you have kind of a visual slowdown because the second half of the day, your workers are becoming more tired. So you're pushing out less product. With the mate, you could either choose to wear the exoskeleton in the second half of the day. You could have them wear it all day. But with this, they're using 30% less muscle. So we'll be doing the same job, and they'll just be able to work a little bit at the same pace a little bit longer. We don't recommend doing more work than you normally do because this will, you are still using your muscles. So this is just to help facilitate the work that is already being done. A lot of the operators will have less effort and muscle strain is what they perceive. So when they're wearing this, we really get a lot of, I feel like it's doing the work for me. I initiate the movement and then it works for me. So they can really feel that they're not doing as much work, which is super ideal, and it creates, happy employees. The back support relief also is probably one of the favorite features of the product for a lot of our customers. They, the lift assist in the arms is wonderful, but that back support relief, there's just so many tasks that involve your shoulders, but it also involves your back. So with that, we want them to be comfortable and feel supported. So if we look at things from a company's perspective, we really, ergonomics and health and safety is a huge drive right now. Like we said, from a cost perspective, but also in general, just wanting people to be happy to work for your company. Sometimes, depending on what the task is, there could be a reduction in cycle time. It's not always the case, but it could be. So if your workers are less concerned about the strain of their shoulders or, becoming tired, they may be working a little bit faster. If it's a precision task where they, are lifting a particular product and placing it a certain way, a very precise way, they could become a little quicker and more precise just because of having that assistance. So I think that it's important for a lot of companies to show their employees, we care about you. Here's a tool we're going to give you to help you, be able to go home and enjoy time with your kids or activities that you might want to do instead of just feeling exhausted and want to, crash out on the couch when you get home. So I think it's just really beneficial. So we do have clinical studies. We've done all kinds of studies, at least in the short term for now, since we've only released this product in 2019. So if you're interested in more information on this, we also have a published case study in IEEE Robotics and Automation magazine. If you're looking for more information and want to see the real data, just let us know and we'll be able to help you out with that. So like I said, we've done a lot of studies out in the field, plenty of different applications and hundreds of operators. So this should be a fun part. Maybe it'll kind of get your wheels turning to see about where you could potentially use MATE. We'll go over all the different kinds of applications and industries that, we're using MATE all over the world. So agriculture, gardening, and forestry, outdoor, I think that this is where we had a lot of interest in having a unit that our customers could feel like they're confident in using it outdoors, that they'll be protected. So, if you can imagine any area where your elbows have really left your body from at least 20 degrees and up, is worth an area that you could test. So here we have, some trimming, fruit picking, pruning, things like that. I'm sure that might give you some ideas of where you could use one at home. We get a lot of interest for people that would like it personally. I think one day it'll become, more advantageous for on a consumer base, but for now it is an industrial product, and that's where we see the most benefit. So obviously our company is very heavily involved in the automotive market. So we had designed this product originally with testing in underbody automotive. These guys are having their arms up all day long, drilling, placing, cabling, things like that. But what we're really seeing is there's so many other areas that this could be used. So we have some, training. I think what's really great about the MATE and some companies have taken advantage of is the fact that, if you want your workers to move in the proper ergonomic way, the MATE kind of teaches you how to do that. And a lot of our customers say it reminds them the proper way to move. So that's been really, really exciting to see. I think construction is an area that's really going to explode with this availability of exoskeletons, especially now that the new MATE XT can be used outside. I think it's going to be really beneficial here. Electrical, here we have more cabling. Maintenance, I think, is an area that a lot of people don't really think about, but our maintenance workers that, take care of our facilities are kind of always up, and around and cleaning and, doing electrical activities and things like that. And sometimes we might not be paying attention. Another really exciting area here is solar panel installation. So we've recently released an article of a company that was able to reduce their labor force because they're able to become more efficient by wearing the MATE. So with the cost of labor is constantly rising, maybe this might be something that's more beneficial to have. Furniture manufacturing, woodworking, polishing, sanding, painting. These are all activities that are, not the first thing that comes to mind, but it's definitely beneficial. So if you can see here, we have a hanging application. I think that hanging is one of our top applications. I think we have some more here. Food and beverage has been very exciting. I think with COVID, a lot of companies are they're working more, and they're noticing that if their employees have to go home sick, they're really getting, pummeled with the loss in productivity. So with the mate, they're able to work, and be less tired and things like that. And I think that a lot of food and beverage facilities are moving more towards automation at the moment, but like I said, it's not really happening quick enough where we actually need humans to do these tasks. And it's been really exciting for us because, Comau is mostly focused in automotive and aerospace, and this has given us a whole new opportunity to look at different industries and where we can help people. Industrial machinery. So here we have another paint line. So if you have hanging movement over a conveyor, this is super ideal for mate handling and maintenance inspections, things like that. I think that another interesting feature is that with COVID, the hospitals were just totally overrun, and with that, you don't think about it, but the laundering and the linens had to be, such a higher volume. So what was interesting in Europe was that the linen and laundry facilities are really seeing a lot of benefit with mate because they've just got so much more work to do. So that's been really cool. Window washing, like I said, this new Mate XT is going to be perfect for this, waste processing, things like that. And then sometimes there's applications that, a lot of people really come to us and say, we lift heavy weights. We need help because we lift really heavy products. Well, that doesn't always mean it's the most ideal application for the product. Sometimes it's really a light product, like for example, in pharmaceutical industry, these people are doing vial inspections. And so they're just lifting vials up and, looking at the clarity of them and placing them down all day long. And, the vast majority of them are developing shoulder injuries. So, sometimes it's really the more repetitive movements that it's going to be the most beneficial for. So here we're going to go over the donning and doffing process that you guys will be able to see just how easy it is to take on and off. Unfortunately, I don't think that the sound is going to work very well on here. So I'm kind of going to just verbally let you guys know what's going on here. So here I am at our office in Detroit, and we'll go over the donning and doffing process. So here we have the real Mate XT live, and you guys can see the actual product. I think it's a little bit easier to understand just how sleek it is when you can see it in a video. So when you're getting ready to put the product on, you want to loosen all the straps just so it'll be able to slide right on. And Mate goes on like a backpack. Once we have our shoulder straps on, we're going to place the waist belt on. Now this just Velcros around your waist. It's important that it sits on your waist and not your hips. Then you're going to want to tighten the straps. This is really on your personal preference. We just want it to be comfortable enough where it's tight to your body where it's not going to snag on something, but you're not carrying any weight in your shoulders. Next, we're going to grab these pull tabs and pull them forward and Velcro them onto the belt. Now with this, it's very important, as you can see from the side, that's what gives you that low back support, keeping your posture upright and your spine is in alignment. So next we'll put on the torque generator boxes. They're stuck in place by a lock and unlock mechanism. We'll just unlock it so we're able to pull this forward because there's a lot of potential energy stored in this. Then we'll strap the cuff on just with an easy Velcro strap. we'll grab the other one and tighten that. The straps can be tightened, just to your personal preference. And voila. So here we have it. You want to move around and make sure have full range of motion. And I'll show you guys a little bit to the back here. There are finite adjustments if necessary, so we can really fit anyone's body. Now, if you want to increase or decrease the level of assistance, you're able to do that on your own with a partner on the floor before you go out. So all you need is the 6mm Allen wrench, and you just torque it around a few levels, and I've increased it from level 1 to 4. So you could see it kind of gave me a little bit more of a boost. So then I reduced it back to 1. And now we'll kind of go with the docking process, which is extremely simple. So we'll start with the torque boxes where we unstrap, push it back into place and lock it. Then we pretty much just unstrap the straps and the belt, and it comes right off. So you guys can see that this is a very simple product. It's one piece. You can just do all the adjustments in one place. And it's very easy to use and understand how to, take it on and off. So with that, I think that pretty much concludes the presentation. And if we have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Go ahead, use that chat. We've got a few that have come in during the presentation. So first one that I have here, Kayla, is what is recommended for cleaning or sanitizing the product?
Okay, so cleaning is very simple, and it really depends on, what your organization would like to do. So what we have a lot of people doing is a 60% alcohol sanitizer where you're able to, spray that with a paper towel and wipe down the unit, especially the hard parts. If you like, you can also just unvelcro all of the garment pieces. They can be easily laundered in a regular detergent and, laid flat to dry. Some customers will get multiple garments just so they can have them in a rotation if they like.
Okay. Oh, we got another one here. So with this being fairly new in terms of being in the industry, what is the best way to determine if this solution would be a good fit for our company's application?
Okay, that's a great question. Honestly, Mike, you can even chime in here. But what we're able to do, especially with Cunninger, and why it's so great to have a partnership, we're able to bring the product, maybe have a visit to your facility. We could get a walkthrough and see what your processes are and evaluate, okay, this looks like a good spot to try it. Really give you a full demo. And Mike, if you have anything to add of what Cunninger can offer, I think that would be great.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty much been the same thing, and given the times, I know some facilities aren't quite open yet, so I've done video, FaceTime videos even with customers where, hey, we do a virtual walk through a plant, kind of identify some areas, then schedule some specific time, come in, suit up different personnel, like you say, put it on them for half hour of a shift just to get the initial feedback. Definitely when we see applications where it's that above 90 degrees, I mean it's generally a home run application. But there are times where it's not always above someone's head, and they're reaching out and picking stuff off a line or placing stuff. Those tend to be some nice applications. So just through experience and feedback from customers, we've really built up that library of where it looks to be a good fit and where it doesn't. All right.
Great, and rental options and things like that as
Yep.
well, I'm sure.
Yep. Here's another one. So, are there any negative effects or loss of muscle due to using the exoskeleton? So, I think we kind of covered some of that, but
Oh, this is a question we get fairly often. I think there's a little bit of a fear because this is such a new type of technology that maybe, your muscles might atrophy. I think that comes to mind, but really there's no muscles that you are not working. So you're just having a reduction in activity. So there shouldn't be any kind of a fear in that type of, you know,
hmm
um, you know, uh, that kind of result, I guess.
sure. Then we've got a couple here that have asked, obviously. So, what is the cost of something like this? So, I can take that one. Yeah, individual unit is $5,700. Obviously, we work with companies. Many times, there's justification for more than one. So, with this latest release of the product, we are doing uh, an incentive. So there's a $500 discount on that during the initial launch of the product. But yeah, we work with companies. We can develop a number of different programs to work on those costs when we're talking more than one.
Oh, and I think what could also be interesting is just, you can talk the length of the life of the product. So it's been tested for 1.5 million revolutions. So if you're
Mhm.
using it for one user, this could come out to, if they're working a regular 40-hour shift, it could come out to about 5-year lifespan.
Mhm. And then a couple, I know we talked about uh, the outdoor rating, but in different industries, whether it be welding or painting, things of that sort that would maybe have some splatter. What kind of options are there to protect the device, or is it protected against most of that already?
Yeah, I think that, it's a pretty robust product. Later this year, we should be releasing maybe like a cover that could protect, and it will cover all the parts of the product. We don't have that available yet, but it may come towards the end of the year.
Okay. I think that just about does it. So I'll start, the conclusion here again. Thank you everyone for attending here, and special thanks to you, Kayla, for the great information on the Comau Mate XT and some of the market analysis that is ongoing there. Just one
Oh,
final
thanks for having me.
Yep. Quick reminder that we have placed the downloads and links in the materials section of the control panel. So please feel free, download that, and we stand ready to assist you in any evaluation or things that you'd like to move forward with us.
All right, thanks, Mike.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.